The JeffingJeffrey Show.
Who could be scared of a Jeffrey?
My name is Jeff.
And here we are. Thank you, Berit, for coming on the show, for taking your Monday evening off to come talk with me. This is Berit. How do you say your last name again?
Stingley.
Stingley. I thought there was a Stringley or something like that.
No R.
No R. Okay. I'm going to have to get
It's
your...
like a quintessential British last name. The L-E-Y, I feel like is, I don't know.
Stingley?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stingley.
And that's British, you said?
I mean, like, I think its true origins are German, but I think the L-E-Y is...
Bring yourself a little bit closer to me.
Okay. I think the L-E-Y is like the most quintessential.
Bring it out too.
Oh yeah, that works. The most quintessential British thing. I don't know much about like the origins of it, but yeah, my dad, like whenever I ask my dad questions, he just says like racist stuff. So we don't have to get into that.
Well, let's cheers to racism.
Y'all, white people.
Well, not actually racism. We're being sarcastic. Well, so wait, are your parents from the UK? Are they from?
Like,
but your family's from.
No, like I'm very like we're as white as they come. Like we're definitely, like I was born in Los Angeles.
Bring yourself there.
Okay, sorry. I can do this. Wait, okay. I'm worried about my voice. I'm like, okay,
it sounds way better when you're just like a little bit like a fist width. Yeah.
Sorry.
But yeah, feel free to move this around the crane.
Yeah. I'm just worried I'm going to be too loud.
So you're as white as can be. You're from...
I was born in Los Angeles. My mom was born in like a suburb of Chicago. My dad was born in Los Angeles. Like we're all multiple generations of like Midwestern sad, you know, the classic like boomer white American story, you know? So
what parts of you were born in LA, but where did they come from? You said they also grew up in LA or?
Yeah. Like So my dad was, he grew up in like like Pacific Palisades, Redondo Beach kind of area. And then my mom, she was in like the suburbs of Illinois or whatever. They met in college, but just super boring stuff, you know? And then they, I don't know, grew up in California, got married. Well, they met at school in Arizona and then, got together, been in California their whole lives. I've been here my whole life, even though it's a bummer. California's beautiful, but like at the same time, I don't know. I feel like it's a vibe. I don't know, Southern California specifically.
It is kind of hard to escape Southern California because it's unbeatable, I would say. If you're going to consider all the living conditions, it's, you look at like a video game character. Like you say, have you ever played video games in your life?
Yes.
So you can create like a video game character, and they have like a sports one, like stamina, and they go to like 100%, right? Stamina, speeds, power, whatever, right? For living conditions, we probably have like safety at almost 100%,
right?
Weather almost at 100%, stuff like that. School, education, it's really hard to beat. When I grew up here, I was itching to get out by the time I was 20, and then by 25, by the time I was 25, I got my buddy invited me to come up to live with him in LA, and I'm stoked to go do it. It probably wasn't even the best idea.
You're
I didn't
like,
really
oh my
have a
gosh,
plan.
LA is so different.
It did feel different.
Yeah, but that was the dream in our 20s. Was like, oh my gosh, leave the suburbs, go to LA. You're gonna be or like San Diego or San Francisco. You're gonna be so cool. Yeah,
you do. I think there is like something to it where you go live in a big city where you can kind of grow a little bit.
Yeah,
and I did feel it was a little bit daunting when I first moved there. I didn't have any job. I did fun employment, and at a certain point, I did fun employment, and that kind of sucked. But I still had a blast. Yeah. I still had a fun time. LA offered so much, and we were right in West Hollywood, so we could go up to Sunset Strip, and there were so many cool bars around that we could just easily. And then like Uber came around when we were there, and then Uber.
Oh yeah, then you were just like, oh my god, I don't have to like walk or pay a ton of money to take a taxi anymore. I can just do it for like $10 and like not take any risk. Like, that was a game changer for me too. I was like, wow, I can actually go out tonight and like you know, everything's going to be okay. Like, I don't have to sleep at someone's house.
Yeah.
Like, I can afford to get home tonight.
I was so thankful for even like Uber Pool, because I would just go up the street, but you didn't want to walk more than like a mile.
Right.
I would walk a mile. I didn't mind that. But then when it's like getting to like a mile and a half to 2 miles, then it's like a little too much. So you could get an Uber Pool, and it was like a $5 ride to wherever you needed to get.
Yeah.
You didn't live in LA, like how long did you?
But I spent so much time up there, like from pretty much like I graduated high school, and like the second I turned 18 was like the first time I started drinking. And then like I was in nightclubs, like those 18 and up nightclubs. I think like, I mean, maybe we can touch on this at some point, but like we kind of like had like a big group of people that we all met from like that coexisting like circle that coexisted in Orange County and Los Angeles. But like I was spending at certain points, like from 18 to 22, like I would be up in LA drinking and going out to like bars and nightclubs like 4 days a week.
Oh,
and like, so I never lived up there. I mean, I lived in Pomona, but that doesn't count because I was in college. So I was just physically closer, but like I wasn't in the city, you know? And then it just got to this point where I remember like sort of what changed for me was like, maybe in my late 20s, I remember I started hanging out like you go through these phases. Like there's cool neighborhoods, and it's like, okay, first it's West Hollywood, and then it's this, like then it's Silver Lake, then it's Glendale, and like all this stuff. I remember going out in like Chinatown with my friend who like lived in Los Feliz, and like was talking to some guy, and he was just like, I'm like, oh yeah, this is going great. And then all of a sudden he was just like, do you have any cocaine? And I think that was like, that changed for me. Yeah. I was just like, maybe I'm not part of these people anymore. Because I was like, I'm in my late 20s. Like maybe I'm not on the same path anymore.
Yeah.
Like it got like sadder the later it got being out in that culture. But yeah, still had great times.
Cheers, by the way.
Yeah, for sure.
Cheers. That reminds me of, I don't know why this reminds me of this, but we were in Laguna Beach, and this is young 20s. And we like showed up, and everybody's kind of showing up to this house, and this one girl goes, do you have any cocaine at this party? And we couldn't stop saying that line for like years to come. We would always bring up that story. We just like, that was like the first thing she asked for when she arrives.
Did you know her at all?
No.
Okay.
We just remember the girl asking it, just like blatantly just asking for drugs.
I wonder where she's now. She probably has like 4 kids.
She does have 4 kids, just a normal Christian woman or whatever it is, you know.
Living her bliss.
Living her life, yeah. LA was like it. I would from time to time make the trip to go to LA, but like now these days I'm so lazy about it. It's just like, oh, we have to go sit in the traffic, and we have to deal with parking and deal with like the homeless and
I mean, that part doesn't bother me.
Yeah, it didn't bother me that much when I was there.
Yeah, it's the traffic. It's the commute to get to the place. Like it's like, okay, here's the freeways. I'm going to go to a concert or something. Yeah. You're like, oh, I have to get this far off the freeway, and there's no parking lot. Or like, for instance, like like this last week, my favorite band got back together, and
what band was that?
Mine is the Bear.
Okay.
So I had the option to go see them in North Park, San Diego on a Wednesday night, where I knew it was a super tiny venue, or I could have gone to Bolesco in downtown Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm not going to downtown Los Angeles because one, that's at LA Live. What a nightmare. I'm going to pay like $50 to park.
Yeah.
The venue is massive, and it's like so many freaking people. So I was like, and I like thought to myself, I was like, okay, maybe I'll go to the North Park show. Like I took time off from work to do this. And I'm like, maybe I'll go to the North Park show, and then I'll also want to go to the LA shows. And then I was like, I just don't want to do it. Like, so like I watched, like saw people, I knew people who were going to the LA shows. And I was like, I'm not going to Bolesco. It's so far.
Especially because it's like on a weeknight. Like when
no, those were on Saturday and Sunday.
That was Saturday.
And I was like, I would rather go to San Diego North Park on a Wednesday night than go to downtown, like LA Live specifically.
Yeah.
Like there's no way parking would have been less than $50. Like
I'm trying to think if I've been there.
Bolesco
I've been
sucks.
there. I went to go see the Woody Show 10-year reunion there.
So random.
And they had a rap group there, and I just didn't like. I got now I'm remembering. I got this nice little swanky room at the Hoxton, which is just around the corner.
Was that like a boutique hotel or something?
Yeah.
I'm a Marriott baby. So.
Yeah. Well, if I could, I couldn't find any good deals or anything that was like, I'm like, I might as well just like do this. So I got the hotel room and they put me on like the second floor, but it was kind of cool because then you can do some gnarly people watching. And the line was wrapped around the corner because I'm like, I'm not gonna, it was raining. So I was going to wait in the rain. So I waited for the line to die down. But here I decided, there's like a pot store and I had a couple of drinks and then the weed kind of made me like, it's not good when you're going out. This is why.
For sure.
So I go show up and I see the Woody Show crew like come out on stage for a moment. And then it was what's the band? Hits from the Bong. I can't think of the rap group.
I am not their target audience.
Well, no, you'll know. It's Hits from the Bong. Cypress Hill. It was Cypress Hill.
Fair.
Cypress Hill was there, but rap is not fun to watch. So I came out there. I had a good time. Like I went to a restaurant. I got a couple drinks.
Right. And like LA Live's not like the worst place to be. But
yeah. And it was kind of out of the way because it's not right by LA Live. It's kind of like
it's like
down
around the corner.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it's still like the same gentrified neighborhood where it's like people are like, I'm in downtown LA. And it's like you're not really in downtown LA. You're in the part of LA that used to be downtown and they push everyone elsewhere. And like they're like, here's Staples Center. Yeah. It's not even called that anymore. I don't even know what it's called.
It's crypto, I think.
I don't know, whatever.
But
like, where the Lakers play.
What was even funnier was I took the train and I was like scrambling to get the right bus because I was like, I want to take all public transit. And I managed to get the free bus that drops me off right across the street from the hotel. And which I thought was peculiar. I didn't see any homeless on this bus route. Yeah, like maybe like a couple of guys were like no encampments or anything like that. It was actually kind of a mellow downtown part of downtown. There was barely any homeless. So it was kind of interesting.
Yeah. It's like, cause you probably went to Grand Central Station and then connected. Yeah. So, I mean, it's like if you were to have walked between Grand Central Station towards LA Live, you would see it a little bit, but the things like people talk about, it's like it's not like what people say it is. Like, I mean, it can be, but it's not, I don't know. I actually feel like the visibility of it is more prominent in like San Diego, but it's not like people are problematic. They're just like physically there living their lives, unfortunately. But like, I feel like, when I go to San Diego, it's just like it just looks like bodies all over the floor because they take like these free like they get pushed out of Skid Row. Yeah. And then they get one-way bus tickets to be like, where do you want to go? And they're like, oh, well, San Diego sounds great.
Pretty nice. You know? It's nice to be homeless there.
Yeah, exactly. And they're just like, here's my sleeping bag, getting on the bus. Like, whatever, but I don't know.
Yeah, San Diego is... Yeah, if I was to choose LA or San Diego, I'd probably choose San Diego to be homeless.
For sure. Like, I just, like, the weather's more mild and I don't know, like, there's less chaos.
Yeah, and the thing is, you don't have to worry about cold because it doesn't get, like, you could live through even the coldest times here in Southern California.
Yeah. I mean, that would be true in LA or San Diego. Yeah. I feel like if you were in like San Francisco and homeless, at least you'd be like, oh God, there's fog all the time. It gets cold. I mean, San Diego gets kind of cold, but LA would be the warmest, but then it just smells like trash all the time.
Yeah. San Francisco, I haven't been there in years, but they build it up to be such a disaster zone, but I'm sure it's not that bad as you would think it is, even though they have like a poop app where it tracks all the poops that are found on the streets.
I think you just need to go. I think it's the classic. I mean, San Francisco, every major city in California has its own like special, unique place. I feel like when I think of San Francisco, I think of like this, like built on a foundation of like the Kerouac lifestyle, you know, where people are like, oh my God, like I always, because like I've spent a lot of time in the Midwest. And I would know people who had like never left their town. And they were like, oh my God, I've got to get to San Francisco or I've got to get to Portland. You know, those were like the dreams for them because they had like read a Kerouac book and they were like, I got to get on a train and I got to like do this experience. And I'm like, okay, like enjoy your life in Berkeley, like whatever you're going to do. It's like cost of living's nightmare. Enjoy.
All the tech people took over.
Yeah. So I don't know, but people dream of these like cities that we take for granted, like in our backyard, you know? And then we've all decided like, okay, we've had enough of them and we love suburbia a little bit. I don't know, but I hate that about me sometimes, but at the same time I like the aspect of living somewhere where things are accessible and affordable.
Yeah.
I guess. And then being able to have, you know, opportunities to be like, oh, I could just go to LA or San Diego tonight for fun, you know, and have a fun couple of days or something. I don't know. But like, I want to go back, like, so where are your parents? Like, where were they born? Where did, you know, how, like, did you grow up in Orange County? Like,
I did grow up in Orange County. We moved down here when I was almost 7.
Okay.
So I'm kind of in the same boat with you that like, I feel kind of like, at least I did LA for 8 years.
Yeah.
So I have that under my belt of some like city life experience. And I do feel like it kind of expedited your growth a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, my mom was from Billings, and then my dad was from Huntsville, Alabama.
Okay.
It's where not Huntsville. I'm sorry. Why am I blanking on Tuscumbia?
Yeah.
Where
That's why I
Helen
just say
Keller,
like,
Helen Keller's born.
Random places adjacent to a larger city.
Yeah, so he was from Tuscumbia, where Helen Keller was born. So you could like, what's there to do? Well, you can go check out Helen Keller's house and see the play, and but. Yeah, it was actually across the river from Muscle Shoals, and there's a famous recording studio there.
Okay.
You could look it up on Netflix, like Rolling Stones and a lot of blues people recorded there. I think even like Elvis did. So famous recording studio nearby. But yeah, my dad went to Auburn, and then eventually went to Seattle. I don't know what he went to Seattle for. I forget. Maybe he because he was in the Navy for a little bit.
Okay.
And he lived in San Diego. He was in San Diego for the Navy. I think maybe they put him up in. I don't know. I actually would like to know, why did he go to Seattle? What was his reason? Because he didn't.
Ask him.
He went back to school later when we were like, when I think I was like an infant.
Okay.
To get his master's. So I don't remember why but what like led him to Seattle. I guess I don't. I would have to ask him that. And then,
well, I mean, if he was like in the military complex, I can sort of understand.
Yeah,
he might sent him there.
He could have been sent there. And then, yeah, my mom went to. Yeah, she got a house for like $26,000 or something, in like just down the street from Seattle U, and yeah, my parents met in the Space Needle, so they were what's that sound? I'm like hearing like a
I heard it
vibrating.
Like,
yeah.
I don't have my phone on vibrate, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm like, it's not my phone.
Sound like a cow.
Yeah, it does. So yeah, my mom was a server, waitress, or whatever you're supposed to call them today. And my dad kind of like bullshitted his way in as a chef. He's like barely had any experiences as a chef, and
good for him.
And got the chef job. And like he was like, I think he was like overnight, and she was like the daytime, and then like kind of met there. And yeah, my mom made all her money off like serving, and that's the reason why she was able to. I mean, even 26,000 then is, or whatever it was like 26, 28 or something. That house goes for maybe like $1 million now.
For sure. Yeah. But like, so they met in Seattle, and then they're in San Diego. Like that's where they reside, or what?
No, we moved down here, and then my mother passed in 2017.
Oh, okay.
And then he got remarried like God, how long was that now? 4 years ago, I think.
How's that working out for you?
It's good. Yeah, he's happy. He's that's all. That's really what I care about is my dad happy, and yeah, they're doing great. He lives in a cool house down in Coronado. Okay. So like, it's actually nice to go visit him, because it's like right in the middle of the action. You can like walk to the Hotel Del, and like all the restaurants and bars are right there. So it's really cool when you're like, I went there for July 4th just to check out like the parade, and they shut down the whole street. It's cool. I enjoyed it.
Nice.
And it's got like a little rooftop patio. It doesn't really, you can't really see much because it's like blocked by a bank, but so it's cool though. He bought it off like a boxer.
I mean, location is everything. Who cares about the view?
Yeah, you just
like, if you don't have a good view, like you'll get out of your house more.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I mean, for me, like I'm the only member of my family still in California, and I was probably the least likely member to stay in California. So like my sister lives in Denver. She's like, I don't know. She just like, she's thriving. She owns 2 houses. She owns one in the suburbs of Denver, one in Aspen. I was
wow.
Like, yeah, that must be nice. Like I always like
in Aspen.
Yeah, like she has like, it's some sort of weird vacation home. She's like, my sister's crazy. She's super into like Ironmans and like skiing and like she does all this outdoor stuff. So, but she bought this condo in Aspen that's like, it's like one of those places where you can't live there full time and you can only live there a certain amount of time and then you monetize the rest of the year when I don't know what
It's not a timeshare, is it?
It's not a timeshare. It's something else similar. It's like a vacation home thing. Yeah, you can't live there full time, but like so she's making money off of her second home. And then she just bought like in a suburb of Denver, bought like her third home that she's had in Denver.
Wow.
Because she's just doing great in her career and stuff. And I'm just like, okay,
Buy
that's
property.
I know. And it's like Denver's such a booming place too that I'm like, I wish I had done that. But like, I don't know. And then both my parents live separately in Arizona. Whereas like, I'm like, they're all much more California people than I ever was. So I'm like, why am I still here? Like, how did I end up still here? Like,
you just have one sister?
I have one sister. I had 2 step siblings, but not really close to them.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's a whole other story, but yeah, I don't know. They weren't that cool to begin with.
You heard it here first. on the JeffingJeffrey Show.
That's probably a story for another time.
Yeah.
The complex life of my father's decision making.
Where are they in Arizona?
My dad is in the Scottsdale region. My mother has 2 homes in Glendale and in Tucson. So she's doing great.
Sounds like it. I mean, everybody's owning property here. It sounds like your mom and your daughter.
A divorce looks great for them. So they got divorced in like 2003. And I think it's only been up for them. It was a good decision for them to make but
did you not like it when that happened?
I guess like it was something that like I always anticipated was necessary. That maybe I wasn't cognizant of at the time, but like I sensed like this doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
And so I was happy that they did it. But I don't know. I just think that they have like a lot of growing to do, always like they're continually growing. But at that point I was like, this is good for them to like learn more about themselves because they got married they literally got married at 23.
Wow. That is so young.
Not even out of college. I think they were like on the cusp of being out of college and then like pretty much went straight into it. Like, I don't think they actually had kids till they were like in their early 30s or something like that. But I just feel like that classic like boomer generation, like you do everything super early.
Yeah.
And then you figure it out later, like this is what society tells you to do. And it's just like, they weren't right for each other, and it is what it is. And me and my sister, we understand that about them and we learn to understand them individually as people. Yeah. But it's, it shaped us to some extent, but what can you do? So I don't know, parents, divorce, it's how it goes. I'm glad they chose to do it.
Yeah.
Because if they had chose to like stick it out, I think,
it would have been bad for everybody.
Yeah. Like it's always this weird thing you hear about people where they're like, you stay together for the kids or whatever.
Yeah.
And you wonder if people had made those decisions earlier to not wait till your kids go off to college, like, would it have been so bad? Like would the situation have been different? Because for me personally, I felt like, without just getting too in the weeds in a public space about things, like I felt like the energy was channeled on me, like growing up, without being too specific, and it changed the course of my life. Like I got sent away to an emotional growth boarding school when I was in high school for being like a troubled teen. What were you doing?
What were you doing? Picking fights?
No. Okay. Like we can sort of go into this weird tangent, but like, so when I was 16, I mean, like we have a lot of common friends. Like we know each other through like Jason and like
Drew.
These people and Drew and stuff like this. So in high school, I was friends with Brad, Jay, these people. And my parents just like my mom was just like super like, what is like these people you're hanging out with? You're going to all these like straight edge hardcore shows. Like you're drinking and doing drugs. I wasn't doing any of it. I was like hanging out I was like watching like Throwdown and like 18 Visions play at like Chain Reaction. And so by the time I was like 17, my parents were just like, we've had enough, you know? And then I got sent away to the panhandle of Idaho to a for-profit emotional growth boarding school. I spent my senior year of high school. Turned out it was a cult.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah, no, like I could go on about this forever, but I feel like it was all a byproduct of like my parents, one, not understanding me, but also just not taking inventory of their own personal stuff, you know? Yeah, but
so it was like a boarding school?
Yeah, like, no, it's not. Okay, so like there's a TV show right now that's on Netflix that is similar to my personal experience.
I've heard about this.
Yeah, so the show Wayward that's on Netflix right now.
Yeah.
Several of the things that they go through in the show, obviously the show goes off the rails. It's a mystery thriller situation, but like the foundations of the show are based off of several things I've experienced.
Yeah.
Like these schools where and it's the most impactful year of my life, like that I would say, like nothing has surpassed it as far as like weirdness, like things that I've ever experienced or complexity. But yeah, I was sent away to the panhandle of Idaho, a year, no telephones other than once a week to my parents. With they were listening to me. I didn't have access to music for the first 6 months. You basically were told like you were free, but like if you were under 18, if you were to leave, they would come and hunt you down. Like they would take you back and stuff. And the basic construct of the school was like, we were living, like on this mountaintop in like very close to the border of Canada. And 3 times a week, group therapy, once a week, one-on-one therapy. But the group therapy was like, the amount of people at the actual school who were accredited therapists, there were 2. Everybody else was like these like self-proclaimed life coaches trying to tell you who you were and put you in a box and stuff. And spending a whole year where you're like in isolation, you can't talk to your friends or like bounce anything off of anybody externally. And all these people are like drinking the Kool-Aid. You just like, you have this weird experience where you're just like, okay, like, is this normal? Like, should I be adapting to what they're telling me?
Like drink the Kool-Aid?
Yeah, like, so to some extent, I had to do this thing where I was like trying to participate as much as possible, even though internally I knew something felt weird. And then in hindsight, now I look it up and like, they're like, oh, it's based on the Synanon cult and like all this stuff. And I was like, okay, like good for me. I identified this was a cult. Well, not in the moment, but like.
You kind of had like something in the back of your head that was
wrong.
Not wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, because people were telling me, they're like, what happened to you? Like all the time I'd be like, if like anybody who's seen this Wayward show, like they show this group therapy setting where you're being yelled at and like intimidated and stuff, that all happened to me on a weekly basis. Like,
so, and this is a documentary, right? This Wayward?
This is like,
it's a fictional.
There's documentaries too, but this is a dramatization that's drawing from this. But this entire industry is like this crazy thing that, you know, like, that is 100% like, parents are sending their kids, they're paying people to tell them where to send their kids to basically abuse them in all the cases.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't physically abused. I'm super thankful for that. I was like definitely emotionally abused.
Yeah, I bet.
But like I had other friends, like my friend Jay in high school, he got sent away to one in Utah, which I think the rules were like much more intense, like where they could do things like be like, we're going to refuse you a bed. Like, I don't know what happened to him in his particular story, but like, I know that they just emotionally were messy with me and stuff. Like the one thing I always point out is like, they were telling me, they're like, you're not doing enough. Like, tell us more about like what damaged you. And I was like, nothing happened. Like, I am sorry that I was a kid who grew up in Orange County. I went to straight edge shows and I missed my curfew and like got tattoos when I was 16. And they were just like, did your dad hurt you? And I was like, no, my dad didn't hurt me. And they were just constantly like looking for things. So they kept getting me in trouble, where the versions of that, like the disciplinary action, were always like, okay, we're going to send you out into the garden. We're going to make you pull out weeds, pull out stumps, like until you're done with it. And then you're going to like have a revelation, you know, and then you're gonna, and then in the midst of that, you do that all day and you'd come back inside. You couldn't talk to anyone at the school. And they'd make you do writing assignments in a journal. And one of the writing assignments they made me do was like my entire life story. So this is at like 17. I'm telling them like, oh my gosh, like X, Y, and Z happened. I'm telling about like the losing of my virginity, all this stuff. And so I like, because they wanted me to be transparent. So I do it to be like, try to get off of this disciplinary action. And when I'm done with it, they take it away from me, throw it into a fax machine and send it to my parents. So like,
wow.
Yeah. And my mom's like salivating over it because she's just like, I just want to know everything about my daughter because she won't tell me anything. And I'm like, oh, it's so cool that like now you get to know my experience. But yeah, I mean, I can go on about it forever, but it's like a really messed up thing that's part of society right now.
Well, aren't they like the Woody show that I was listening to, he got the same thing. He got sent to like a boarding school up in the mountains, barely any electricity, could barely contact home. And I think Paris Hilton, like they were talking about because Paris Hilton's doing
her
like a
documentary
docuseries.
made me cry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's like drawing from a similar place of like, she went to actually one of the programs, like not the specific, but the same company. It's called Sea-Doo. She went to one in San Bernardino.
Yeah.
Part of the same company, same ideal of like, you know, Synanon cult ideals. So, but she went to multiple.
He's saying though that like they were shut down. So are they even allowing this? You're saying that there's still stuff like this operating today?
Just because like one closes down, like the particular school I went to was 4 different schools. The one I went to shut down, but they just absorbed their staff and like their kids into one of the other 2 schools that was nearby because they get sued all the time for like mistreatment and stuff. So like if you look, there were schools, like there's documentaries about this, like one's in Guam, one's in Mexico, Texas. Kids have died because of like, you know, this like standoff they have about disciplinary action about like, we're just not going to feed you, or we're going to like put you in a field and we're not going to give you water and we're teaching you something. Yeah. And it's like, oh shit, this kid just died, or like crazy stuff. That's like terrible. That. I am incredibly thankful that like it wasn't on that level for me. Like my thing was like, oh my gosh, I don't get to listen to like Thursday's new album because like I couldn't have it for the first 6 months I was there. Like,
so they started like, how did you get music eventually?
I had to earn it. So
good behavior and such.
No, it was this like, it was these, so like you showed up and there was groups and benchmarks you had to pass through. So there was these things called profeets, basically, that were like these emotional growth seminars. So in addition to the fact I had like one-on-one actual like therapy 3 times a week, group BS therapy, you would have, I think there was like 6 or 7 of these profeets that were these like focused on aspects of your personal psyche to teach you lessons, where they would like lock you in a building for 1 day up to 3 days and teach you things. Like it's insane. So like when we did the prophet that was called I Want to Live, that was when I was, if I did it to their expectations, I was allowed to have 6 CDs after that. That was like before iPods, like this was like 2002. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I can't. And then they had to listen to the music to like tell me like if I was allowed to keep it. So I remember like being really mad because at that time I was listening to all this like hardcore and like some screamo and stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just really want like this From Autumn to Ashes CD and like all this stuff. And I had to like settle for like the Juliana Theory. And like, I think I snuck through like a Thursday album or like, I don't know, like weird music. Like you couldn't share the music, but yeah, I was just like, oh my God, these 6 CDs. I don't even remember what the 6 CDs were. But.
So they like, but they had to approve the music coming through.
Yeah, they had to like, oh my God. And the music they made us like, cause they had like, we had a main cabin where we listened to stuff. There's like certain songs that haunt me because certain counselors were like really into specific songs. Like I love Phil Collins, but the song In the Air, that song, I like literally can't because like there's this woman there was this woman who was like super into it at the time. And I was like, why did you ruin this one Phil Collins song? I mean, Phil Collins is awesome. But that one song, I'm like, F that song. Like, I can't do it. Or like, yeah, there's like the first Coldplay album or.
I really appreciate you sharing this, but I'm sorry to interrupt. If you don't want to keep talking about this.
No, we can. I just feel like it's like, I don't know, like how much I should share in a public forum.
I think it's very interesting. It's compelling.
I could go on about it forever.
So what was like the strong, like it didn't sound like you were doing really, okay, so you listened to some hardcore music, you got a tattoo, You said you lost your virginity at an earlier age.
Yeah, I mean, but like whatever, high school, that was normal.
But did you do anything like damaging? Did you hurt anybody? Did you do anything like, what was the straw that broke the camel's back and sent you to?
The big problems were like, one, I was missing my curfew. My curfew was 11 p.m. I was living in Coto de Casa.
Yeah.
So it was like this whole thing where my sister had the same curfew when she was younger, but we lived in Laguna Hills at the time. So I was very rational. I told my mom, I was like, hey, we live further away. The bulk of the things I was doing was going to Chain Reaction or going to Disneyland. I said, hey, can I like have like an 11:30 curfew to adjust for the commute from the freeway? But just like non-starter, So like I tried, like I was always going to I guess I was going to Showcase too, which was a venue that was in like Riverside at the time. But I started very much being like, okay, I'm going to be very transparent and I'm going to tell you like, I'm trying to be an adult, tell you what I want and need. Like I want to do a thing that's going to be later. But like it was a non-starter for her because she would just know at the core of it, like, oh, like you're listening to like scary music, So like, and I was wearing a lot of black. Like I wasn't like, I don't know. I wasn't like wearing like black lipstick and stuff. Like I was just wearing like black t-shirts and
wasn't
jeans.
like you're cutting yourself or like doing drugs.
Yeah, and I was wearing like Jack Purcells with like every other kid in Orange County at that time. Like it was super normal. But she just like, my sister did everything was expected of her. My sister was like on the tennis team and like went straight to college. And I was very much of like C's get degrees and like not doing great in math ever, know? And then going to summer school all the time. And then, when I started to notice these things my mom was like not even willing to negotiate about, I was like, okay, how do I work around it? Because I was like, okay, I want to get my ears pierced because this is what all the cool kids are doing. So I got 4 piercings in both my ears, whatever. Didn't scratch the itch. So then I was like, okay, well, how can I like do more to like make it so it's undoable? So then I had a guy who everyone knew at Dana Hills and like Capo who did tattoos for minors, got a tattoo at 16.
Where'd you get it?
There's 16 stars on my body. Like, so I'll tell you more about it, but like, so there's like, they're all over the place. But literally 16 outline stars. Had this person do it. And then I was like, she can't undo this. So, but it led me, like, I wasn't probably in a place where I wanted to do that, but it led me to that because I was like, okay, how do I be the person I guess I want to be, you know? So, but it was like a reaction to like, she's not gonna let me keep like a lip ring. So I guess I have to get like tattoos, but it's just so messed up. And so like this is 2001 September. So I get the tattoos and I'm dodging my family. And like wearing turtlenecks when it's like Indian summer weather, going out before like they wake up in the morning and stuff and just dodging them. Or wearing like weird sweatbands to try to hide stuff. 9/11, 2001.
Oh, wow.
Or like, I think it was September 10th. My mom figures out I have tattoos. She's like so terrified. She's like, oh my God, I can't believe you did this. And then she's like, we're going to call you out of school. We're going to go to my dermatologist. And we're going to get them lasered off. So go to September 11th, 2001, the day everything happens. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to school. I'm going to the laser surgeon, whatever. Mm-hmm. So I'm like sleeping in, excited. My mom's like freaking out on like, she's like, Berit, like, oh my God, like, wake up. Something just hit the Twin Towers. And I'm like, Mom, I'm like, whatever, I'm sleeping. Like, you know, being super like teenager who's just like, you're about to ruin my life. Take my tattoos away. And then she does it again for the second tower. And I'm just completely, like a little piece of shit, like high school kid. She still takes me to the laser surgeon, still tries to get them removed, but I'm like having a standoff with them. They're like, we don't know what our legality is, So I don't get them removed there. Week later, she takes me to some other place and they're like, yeah, we'll remove them. She's a minor. It's fine. Mm-hmm. And so I had 4 treatments of laser treatments on my crappy ass tattoos that I got from some guy who was willing to do it. But everyone was doing it in our area. So that was like the first thing, but hilarious. And then, I pierced my own lip.
Oh, wow. That's
because it was
risky.
like, it was one of those things where I was just like, well, she's going to make me take it out. Like,
Yeah.
So like, but like, if you think about it in the scheme of things, and then I guess the other major thing was that I no longer wanted to go to like traditional high school. So I opted to switch to independent study, which I completely got her consent and was like, I just no longer see the value in going into school every day. I'm like a junior, like I can get out of school faster and go to Saddleback faster. But she didn't like that because I was like getting C's and all the stuff, whatever.
C's get degrees though.
Yeah, exactly. Like to me, I was just like, I've always been a person who like enjoys knowledge, but I don't feel like the A's are unimportant or whatever. But I forgot where I was going with that.
I think you were kind of leading up to like you got the tattoos removed, or
But
you
like,
didn't get them fully removed.
No,
right?
they're like, yeah, I can show you later, but like there's a bunch of them. Half of them are removed, half of them aren't, whatever. But she still like was just like, you're on a downward trajectory and we don't know like what your plan is and stuff. So then that was ultimately like how those were the things that led up to her being like, we need to send you away. But like, then I get there and I'm with kids who are like, did something bad to my sister, or like, I stole money from my grandparents to get drugs.
Yeah.
Like, and I was just like, it's like, I am like, all I did was like get tattoos and C's, like, So, and there was a lot of that going around because they were having trouble finding like really problematic kids to send there. And so a lot more of the more recent kids that were coming were like for monetary gain. So it became like, I don't know, like a bunch of kids who had like really small problems. And then versus like these kids who, when we first got there, were like really had serious problems. So there was also this divide between the two groups too, of like the program had evolved from, it was like people were there till you finished for however long that was. Whereas when I got there, it was like, you were there for a year, you're going to finish high school no matter what. And you're going to go through these weird ass experiences. We're going to lock you in a building for like a couple of days and like tell you about your inner child or whatever.
Wow. Sounds like Scientology in a way.
No, that's what I'm saying. Cults are cults. Like, and I think just like in this weird tangent we've been on, like it's my takeaway from it is that it was like my biggest lesson in tolerance. It shaped a lot of who I became when I cause I didn't meet you till I was trying to think about this
after high school.
But like, I'm trying to remember like the specific moment I met you, because like we had similar circles for a long time, but I don't think I met you till I was like 21 or something.
Yeah, I think it was something like that. I think, God, what were we doing? I was living in that Marina Hills house for a little bit.
Yeah, like was it Valentine's Day? Like you had a party at your house? Was that the first time I met you?
That could have been it. I was running around with underwear on and wings.
I just remember like, I feel like I remember hanging out with Jason all the time, but I felt like I hadn't met you. I was hanging out with like all of the same circle of people. And I feel like the first time I met you, you had a party at your house and it was Valentine's Day, and you like, to enter your house, you made everyone put on wristbands and take shots of like Goldschlager or something
like that. And then,
like Fireball or something like that.
And yeah, we had like a juice, like a jungle juice. Yeah, okay. and the cops came, and I was like in my costume with the wings. I like these white feathery wings, and I was wearing like a red spandex.
That sounds on brand.
Yeah, and I'm trying to find. Well, sorry to I'm looking down. I'm trying to find. I think did you send me an image of you, me, and Jason? We're out somewhere.
That was in LA.
Yeah,
but I think that was like after that. Like that was a picture. I think that was at like Club Bang or something.
Yeah, we did go to Club Bang.
It was either like Club Bang or it was what was that other nightclub, the 18 Up nightclub we all used to go to? It was the
Boogie.
No, I've never been to the Boogie.
You never went?
No.
In Anaheim?
I always heard about the Boogie.
Oh, I went there numerous times.
Oh my God. No, I like pretty much went straight to LA.
Yeah.
But imagine me in a post boarding school world. This is how I entered this drinking. So I came out and I was like, everyone's drinking now. And like, I just was in this like lost world for like years.
To go back to so did you try to run away when they were like, we're sending you to Idaho?
No, because it was a non-starter. So like when I was consensually leaving, because if I didn't, they were going to send me away to a wilderness program where I would have had to tack on more time and live in a teepee where they would make me maul wood and like do a bunch of like weird. I heard about people who were sent out into the woods where they would be like, you don't have toothpaste, you don't have food. We're going to teach you how to make fire and you're going to figure it out. And like, that was the kind of thing that if I chose to not comply, I would have been taken in the middle of the night with zip ties on my wrists and I would have had to tack on additional time. So
how does this sound? This doesn't even sound legal.
That's legal. This is 100% what happens today. This is what like Paris Hilton fights for.
Yeah.
Like what she's like going to Congress
insane.
and stuff. Yeah, it's incredible. Like it's a whole world that like people don't really talk about unless you like have some reason to know it exists. But it's very much like this is what rich people are doing to their kids because somebody's telling them that that's like what's a realistic way to like fix your child. And it's like, who knows, like whether it's like, and all these kids just have like sad little demons, you know what I mean? Like whether it's like they're homosexual or like they did something effed up or they had something effed up happen to them when they were little. And it's just like, they're not getting the tools to figure out how to do it. I'm lucky I didn't really have that. I just had parents who wanted to throw money at a problem while they're dealing with their own. Like, summary of the whole thing. So like, because this all started because we were talking about like divorce and unhappiness with parents, but like, yeah, this is a huge part of my life because of the byproduct of that. Like,
yeah. So you did you make any, I know you weren't supposed to talk to anybody. Did you make any friends from that?
Yeah. No, I wasn't like not talking to people for a year. It was just like when I would get in trouble, I couldn't. But like, there's some decent people. I'm like connected to people on social media, but like as far as like close, I'm not that close with most of them. Like I check in with certain people.
It's 20 years ago or more than 20 years ago.
I don't know. There's like people like I went to Coachella with one of the people because she was cool. But like she's a little different. Like we're on different wavelengths and stuff, but I still like stay connected to her. Like I have other friends who like, you know, married with kids and stuff. They're fine. There's also kids who've like died and there's you know, kids who like, I don't know what happened to them.
Yeah.
And so like, there's the whole mix, but I mean, overall there was only like about 60 of us in total, to really, for me to be exposed to. And so many people were just like narcs, like, cause it was a very much like a narc culture. Like you were like, to get by, you like, if you did something wrong, like you told on a person for doing something wrong. And it was just like, it was like hard to actually make lasting relationships because of that, because you're just like, this is a weird world. So, but yeah, come back. Like,
so then explain to me, like, so you go there from like what, September to June or something like that?
Yeah,
like
it was
a
like,
normal school term?
Yeah, I think it was like March of 2002 to like February of 2003 or something like that.
And what did it like? So you're finished with the program. Like, what did it feel like to get home?
It was bizarre because I was supposed to graduate in like June of 2003 originally. And I came back early, graduated, but the school curriculum was bullshit. So, like I had a degree in high school, but I don't know how I had a degree in high school. And then I was just kind of waiting for other people to graduate. And amongst this, because you do become like emotionally open from the experience because they want you to just be like completely open and honest all the time. And so I came back like, it sort of sped up my my maturity a little bit, where I became a little bit more emotionally transparent and stuff, and people were not ready for it. So it was kind of like, I feel like what I've sort of chalked up to is that like a lot of people who go through like any other sort of trauma experience, like you come back in a weird space and you have to sort of like figure out, I don't know, like where your place is, but you have to sort of, I don't know, I feel like I became overly self-righteous. Like I remember coming back and alienating core people like Jason and Brad and like these people and stuff. And only the people who kind of like were able to see past that were the ones who stuck around. But I like lost people as a byproduct because they're like, I don't like want to talk about my feelings and like all this stuff. And I was like, but I just want to like know like your backstory now, like that I've like learned all this weird stuff. And like, so I've kind of like learned how to course correct now. But like, imagine being an 18-year-old who never drank, starts drinking, and then like starts getting exposed to like Hollywood,
Yeah.
like drinking for the first time and then like coming with that as like their baggage or whatever. So it was a very like strange, messy time in my life, I guess, but it was great times. I don't regret it.
Did you get to like, what was your first meal when you got back? Did you get in and out or anything? Or did you even think, did you remember?
I was vegan.
Oh, really?
Oh my God. I was vegan when I was in boarding school. I was vegan before I left because that's what all the cool straight edge hardcore kids did.
Yeah.
And I came back and I started eating meat.
There you
I
go.
think maybe I probably had in and out soon-ish, like within the first like month or something, but I don't know. I don't think I was like craving something.
So the way you're saying, the way it sounded, you say you still, it was a definable time in your life to the point that you think you maybe have learned something from it. I mean, obviously you have learned something from it. Do you think maybe that you are, there's like a better form of you because of it, even though it was kind of like a weird cultish way of going about things?
There was positive takeaways. Like obviously any sort of therapy is going to have some positive outcome.
Yeah.
But there were other aspects of it that I had to like deconstruct later in my life, being like, why don't I have this, like, what's this traumatic event that happened to me that I can't find? And they're like, it probably didn't happen to you. And like the school sort of wired me this way to be like, what's the thing I'm avoiding in my brain that I can't figure out that like molded me this way? And I was like looking for something for a really long time that never existed because I'm just like a kid from Orange County, like who just like didn't follow the path of my parents, like whatever, like, but I like spent a lot of time searching for something that wasn't there, or I don't know. It is what it is, but it's just like, it's a very real thing that's still part of society that like, I guarantee in Orange County, dozens and dozens of kids have this story or similar stories and it's messed up. Like, but you know, it made me an interesting person for sure, even if it was messy.
Do you think that was in itself traumatic, the whole program?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Like the day to day, like I have like journals that I kept that I've like, I couldn't even like look into for a really long time because I was like, I don't want to know what I was saying in the day to day, but I kept journals and stuff. It was just, weird stuff like that was going on all the time. I wish I had like done daily journals or something, but it was more like ranty stuff where I was like, oh my God, like this girl, like, you know,
this bitch.
No, it was just like, they all had us on medication and stuff too. Like, oh my God, it was wild. They were just trying to neutralize us and oh my God. And everything, like anytime you got sick, they were like, it can be fixed with water. Like, or like they would tell you if you took a nap that like you were avoiding your feelings, like just like psychological mindfuck stuff constantly. Weird. Yeah. And there's like, not to like, but like I've listened to, there's podcasts about this. One about Sea-Doo High, which is in the one that Paris Hilton went to, that's in San Bernardino, about a kid who went missing. It's called like, I can't think what it's called, but like they literally reference people who I'm like, oh my God, that person was a person, like a facilitator at my school. And it's like wonder sometimes like, where are these people now? Like they should be like incarcerated because of like the psychological creepiness that they did to people or like just weird stuff. Like in this group therapy, like you had to be emotionally transparent. So like imagine like teenagers in cabins in high school. Like obviously you catch feelings with people and stuff. If they ever saw you like hanging out with people, like one, you couldn't touch them. Two, you couldn't kiss them. You couldn't do anything.
It was co-ed too, right?
Yeah. It was like the girls, there was like less than 20 of us and there was like 40 guys. So of course, like I actually had a boyfriend at the time at home, but like we had it like sort of open where it was like, if something happened, it was okay because it was like a year of my life. But like, I remember like I was getting attracted to people and they would notice and you had to go into these like rooms and they made you tell everyone in front of them, like where you had to be like, hello, I am attracted to you. And like tell in front of a group of like 20 people. And then like nothing.
A high schooler, that's gotta suck.
Right. Imagine like being a 16-year-old and you're like, holy crap. Like I'm so insecure, but I have to like tell this person that like, that I can't actually actualize anything with, but like, I have feelings for you. Yeah. Like, it was like, so, I don't know. It was so wild, like to think about it in hindsight, like the crazy cult stuff. But I don't know.
Do you think when you were done with this boarding school, you got home, you think that's what led you to the drinking you're talking about, going to LA? You needed to like get it out or like.
I mean, I think I was still on that trajectory to some extent, but like some of the things that I did were like, I feel like could have been reeled back a little bit had I not had like sort of this thing going on inside, back in my brain where I was like, I don't feel like I'm understood and stuff like that. But no, I wouldn't take back like all of the fun times I had. Like, oh my gosh, like you went to Club Bang and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
I know. Club Bang was
Club
awesome.
Moscow, like that stuff. Like those were like some of the most fun times. Like,
yeah, I love that. I love that.
God,
place.
like I kept like a live journal of like all that stuff, and so like I have these really vivid like tellings of like some of these really elaborate nights that I experienced in my early 20s. And I'm like, oh my God, like I'm so glad I documented these crazy things I did, But like it's like things like that. Like I wish I had like journaled or took inventory of like meeting people like you or something. Like, oh, like I wish I knew every single aspect of like everything I met, like, these people I met this night and like all these cool things I did. And like I wish I remembered what band we were seeing when we took that picture. Like, I feel like it was like, I think it was at Club Bang.
We
but
didn't
I
go
don't
see
remember.
She Wants Revenge.
I remember that. Oh my gosh. So I think about this because we saw She Wants Revenge.
Maybe you were there because I remember it was me, Jason, and
but that
Paige.
was a different night.
Yeah. Okay.
But so we went and saw She Wants Revenge. Ironically, that same night, there was this dude I was dating at the time who wanted me to go see Minus the Bear with him, who's like, they're like my favorite band. And I was like, no. I'm going to go see She Wants Revenge with like my girlfriends and like these two guys or whatever. Like I already have tickets, whatever. And it's funny in hindsight because I'm like, oh, I should have gone and seen Minus the Bear, but I've seen him so many times. It doesn't matter. But no, that particular night with you and Jason and Stacy in that picture, I think it was like Club Bang, some album release, but I don't know what. Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I had long hair, had the Beatles hair going on.
That hair. It was like I don't know. Yeah, that was how you looked back then.
Yeah.
But
I held on to that for a little bit and then eventually got tired of it. Like Jason cut one time he had like a couple drinks and cut my hair. And I could get it, of course I'm getting it for cheap, so I can't really complain about it. But he like made my hair look like David Bowie. And then I kind of
like the peacock situation.
Yeah. And I stuck with that for a while. And then, I think eventually it was like, this is getting a little too
It was such
wacky.
A thing of the times though.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
I feel like if you had that hairstyle now, I'd be like, you need to get over it.
Yeah, I would.
Like definitely. I even like, cause like your hair now, I'm like, I feel like I liked your, like, cause I don't know, you have like really short hair now, but I was just like.
Well, I have shaved head now.
I know, but like, it was like, I liked the, like, I didn't have a problem with the, like, the situation you had going when we reconnected, like, what was it, like 2 years ago or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was just,
it was giving Jeremy Piven like vibes.
Well, if you go, it's like, I liked how it looked like straight away, but when I went to the side, it just looked too receding, and maybe it's like one of those midlife crisis things because I turned 40, and then I'm like, I heard one friend I should shave my head, and then another friend shave my head, and I'm like, I've been wanting to do it. I've been like, I was like literally so many times holding the buzzer, like I'm gonna do it.
But it seems like so much maintenance. Like how often do you have to shave it?
I did it today.
Oh, it's less. It's like less maintenance than.
It's great. I got this thing. So.
Oh my God.
I can literally like do this over a plate of food because it sucks in the hairs. Okay. So you just like you open it up.
But that's easier for you than styling your hair every day.
Well, I don't have to style my hair. Like I don't have to go get haircuts anymore and have to have these conversations with the barbers. Even though I like the guys, I went to Golden Crown and I actually became friends with them and they all knew me by name. But you couldn't just
like do the hair maintenance yourself or something? Like it's just easier.
Yeah. I just think people do like how
but now sunburns.
I know I was like deliberately trying to get it burnt because it's so pale. And I was trying to get it burnt. When I was running, I did forget. Like it was a bad idea that I like didn't cover it because then it felt like my scalp was burned. Yeah. But I just think it. I'm not going to satisfy either side. Some people think I would look better bald, or I think I look better bald.
Right.
And some other people thought like maybe I still needed hair, but like you. But I just, at this point, I've been just gotten so used to it.
Yeah, you just got to do what's right for you.
Yeah,
like,
and
F what everyone else says.
And it's like, yeah, and this is like been the best thing I ever bought, because it like, yeah, it sucks the hair.
Hilarious.
Yeah, so it's like you just open it up like this and like dump the hair out.
Yeah, how funny.
So I really
it sounds super low maintenance, but at the same time, just like, I don't know.
Yeah. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how, like, I mean, maybe it's still there. Like I literally just buzzed it today. It's still consistently, like there's no like real patch of like baldness. So it's still consistently there.
Do you have like a good helmet? Like a lot of people have like weird, when they shave their head, they realize that their head is like a weird shape, or they have like a weird hair pattern or something like that.
Yeah, I have. I mean, there's a lot of bald men still meeting women out there, so I'm not too worried about.
No, you're gonna do fine. Honestly, like I think it's kind of funny at this point. Like I don't know how you haven't like met the person. I guess I don't know.
Yeah,
you've always been like a solid dude. So.
Oh, that's nice of you to say.
Yeah, I don't know. Known you for a while ish. But it's like, I don't know. Yeah, like I feel like, I don't know, like I'm rooting for you or something.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I've been. I don't know. I moved out. I have always wanted a place of my own, and now I've gotten so used to it. I've been here for almost 5 years, and I'm like, if you get to that point where you're gonna have to like accommodate each other, I get a little hesitant. She's got to be a real keeper for me to want to get to that next step of, you know, redecorating my place, or a pet has to move in or something like that. And I have nice carpets that are clean, and I like a clean place.
That's what I mean, is you just end up meeting that person who, I don't know, like figures that out. Like you don't have to like force it, I guess.
Yeah.
Like
I did meet someone not too long ago, and I really felt like it was going to happen. We kissed at the end, and we like had so much to talk about, like endless conversation. Dodgers fan, which by the way, they're on right now.
So are you missing out?
No, I can just put them on the side actually if I want to. But like we're like texting the next day, just like, what are you up to? You know, and then like on a Friday evening, she goes out, texts me the next, like we didn't plan to do anything that Friday evening or anything like that. But like Saturday morning, she's like, I want to let you know now that I ran into someone that I knew from 10 years ago that we used to have a past, and they wanted to revisit it. And
dude, I've had that happen to me too.
I know, and it's like I can't catch it's kind of like I can't catch a break. Yeah. So I just can't. I'm on these dating apps, but I just feel like it's some of them, like the Hinge is like the only one that something happens. Like Tinder and Bumble, literally nothing happens.
Tinder ruined everything. Like, so for instance, I met my husband on OkCupid, but I had already sort of given up. Like it's kind
of when that happens too, right?
Yeah. So I was already at the place where I was like, California is wrong. I'm not going to find my person here. People here are problematic and toxic. And so I thought I was going to have to leave California to actually find appropriate people. Yeah. Because I thought that California was the toxic part in conjunction with Tinder. You know, like Tinder had evolved all of the dating websites to become problematic. Yeah. And then it just kind of happened where like I kept going on dates. Oh my God. Like one of the last dates I went on before I met my husband, my now husband, was like this person who I had been avoiding on OkCupid. Yeah. And I couldn't remember why I was avoiding him because he was good looking. He reached out to me eventually on there, and I went on a date with him. And then like we met at the packing house, and then it turned out like, oh, wait, he's Mormon. And I was like, oh, okay, well, this is a vibe, because I'm like somebody who drinks and like I'm not spiritual, like obviously not into anything of a cult background. Yeah. So it was just like, that was the kind of thing, or it was, you know, it was people who were very much like, you know, wanted to sell you the boyfriend experience, and then they didn't want that, you know? And it was just like, I knew how to navigate all of it, but I was like, this is so empty. I'm so over it, you know? So I really thought my solution was leave the state. And then, yeah, I met my husband in 2018. I don't remember. I think 20. I don't know. I'm not good with the stuff. And then it just like kind of clicked because I was very much like, I don't care. I'm just going to tell people everything I want and need. And if that clicks, you know, unapologetically, that I'm throwing it out there. Like what I learned about my prior relationship with people was like, if you hold back, like they're not seeing you completely.
Yeah.
So all you can do is just be your true self. And if those people don't resonate with it, they're not the right person.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's certain things you can maybe be restrictive about in like the first date and stuff.
Yeah,
but
you
like
probably don't want to overshare at the beginning.
Yeah, but like, I mean, I withheld in my prior relationship for months. Like, and I was just like kept waiting for that opportunity. Like, when do I get to be my full self? Like internally, I was thinking that. And then he broke up with me, and I was like, it was a huge revelation for me. Like,
You're
this
like,
is stupid.
I'm a furry.
Oh my God, Jesus. But it was just like, it was a whole thing where it like helped me realize like, okay, one, I have to be okay with being alone, you know, with the prospect of being alone. Cause this was like 2012 or something. So I started doing things where I was like, can I go to dinner alone? You know, I go to movies alone, like all these kinds of things. And I got comfortable with that. And then I was like, okay, I'm ready to date again. And then I was like, not finding anyone. I was like, this sucks, you know? And then, but it's like, you totally get it. Like
I've been on it since the beginning of Tinder.
Yeah.
And definitely have had a lot more dates on like Tinder I think Tinder is like a pay to play thing. And they're gonna
for sure.
They're gonna put you at the top because it makes me feel like I'm unwanted, like completely.
Yeah.
And then like the ones on Bumble will say, "Oh, you missed a match." When you swipe, they'll tell you that message.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I have no interest in that. The problem with dating is everybody's shooting upward.
Yeah.
So like mathematically,
but then you find the people who are actually ready to meet people, they're not doing that anymore. They've already figured it out. You know, they've already established what they want. They're no longer looking for the thing that doesn't exist. I felt like in my late 20s, early 30s, people were looking for the best to see how high they could get to.
Yeah.
And then as we got into our mid 30s and stuff, people are like, okay, now I'm actually like ready to like, I don't need to find the unrealistic thing. I'm looking for the realistic thing, you know? But yeah, I don't know.
I'm looking for, you know, someone it's like, these are so like typical, but like down to earth, not there's where one thing that kind of bothers me is travel. They say, I like to travel. And it's like, they make it seem like they like to travel a lot. I'm like, okay, how do you afford this? Not only with just financially.
Yeah, you're not like 22.
Yeah, like with time, how do you afford this? Like I work in a small company, so it's kind of like I could work if say I wanted to travel within the country, I could do that and still work because I work remotely.
Yeah.
But like traveling is not cheap, and if you want to go on a good trip, it's gonna be at least $3,000 to $5,000.
Yeah, but if you look at those people are probably renting. They probably have roommates.
Yeah.
And they probably don't have realistic jobs like that they're like their life exists looking forward to that travel, you know, rather than like having the balance, you know, of like, okay, well, every day I go to my job, I exercise, and I look forward to the 2 vacations a year I have. There's the people who are like, I love travel and like live my bliss. Like those people are like, okay, I'm probably like, well, I don't want to call it like a position, but like they're probably doing some sort of remedial job and they're only looking forward to that future or past thing that they've already done. They're not actually living in a present world where they're like enjoying themselves. You know what I mean? Like
that's what I was trying to say. It's like they're always trying to escape rather than be like, why not just enjoy where you live? Or if you don't enjoy where you live, try to find another place where you enjoy live. I mean, obviously that's not always feasible or it's just not affordable. But yeah, they make it seem like they're like, I see ones that like, I'm traveling at least once a month. I'm like, how do you like what kind of job do you have? Like, how do you
look at their credit card bills, like look at the foundation behind what's going on. I guarantee it's not legitimate.
Yeah.
Like,
and
it's problematic.
It's not that I'm against traveling. I'd like to go visit Tokyo one day.
Right.
Or like Switzerland, you know, but for me, that's just kind of like taking 10 days off because you don't want to go to Tokyo for like a few days.
Yeah.
You want to go at least a week. and lodging, the food, and the travel. It's like it costs a lot, and just taking the time off. I'm fine with I work for 8 hours a day, and I shut it off completely after work. So I don't want to be unless there's some emergency that something has to be taken care of by me. Some spit got in my sorry. I shut it off. I shut it off outside those hours of work. Same with I usually take a day off a month because I have to because of my PTO buildup.
That must be nice. Can I have some?
Yeah, here you want some. Here you go. I always take the last Friday off of the month, and that kind of works out too because then the last Thursday of the month is that art crawl that I go to every month, and that's gonna be fun because it's gonna be the night before Halloween. Ooh. And it'll be cool because it's an art.
You have a costume?
Yeah, I got a skeleton jumpsuit. You remember from Karate Kid, the OG Karate Kid, where they're all running around in skeleton costumes.
I can picture it, but I can't remember specifically from the movie.
Yeah, it was Johnny Lawrence and his hoodlum.
You're gonna I love movies, but I'm not gonna remember the cast.
I haven't watched it in years but I watched the Cobra Kai series, which was great. It's a really good. It's so cheesy, but I recommend watching it. Yeah,
I remember those movies, but yeah, I don't know if those are revisitable for me. Is revisitable a word?
It still makes sense. It still applies. The meaning still is there. Do you watch anything? Is there any shows that
I watch anything? Yeah, I do.
Some people don't. It's I just watch or read or go ahead.
My new thing is I just got on Letterboxd. You use Letterboxd?
You mean closed caption?
No, it's an app that you can log your movies that you watch.
Oh wow.
I had a friend who got me into it, and so I started logging stuff. So now I have this backlog of now I feel like I'm incentivized to watch movies that's cool. I've been putting off. I always, because I want to watch everything, but I put off hard. A lot of time. I have a guilty pleasure for rom-coms.
Okay.
But not mainstream rom-coms. I like indie rom-coms, but I always want more of them. So I'll even watch the garbage new ones. I'm not Hallmark Channel kind of person, but I like rom-coms, and I like.
What's a recent favorite rom-com that you liked?
I don't know. They're all garbage. I'll watch anything. I watched on Netflix, the one I keep, I have this thing where my sister's always tell me what to watch. And I told her, I was you need to watch this garbage movie I watched on Netflix. It was called The Other Paris or something like that. Oh my God, it's the worst garbage ever.
But it's it's so bad that it makes so it bad.
Yeah, but it's problematic bad. I just couldn't handle it. That's not really my preference. When it comes to romance or indie films, my favorite movie is called Before Sunrise. It's an
with Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, fantastic movie. But I like other stuff too. That's if I could just get 100 of those, sign me up.
Yeah, I like. I don't know if that's considered rom-com, but what's the one with Billy Crystal? I'm blanking.
If you're gonna say City Slickers, it's also a great movie.
That's just a comedy.
I love City. No, you're thinking of When Harry Met Sally.
When Harry Met Sally.
Fantastic movie. Yeah,
but I don't even know if that's called there's
it's
some
just
quirky
romantic
moment,
drama, whatever. But that movie paves the way. If you watch anything that comes out now, people put weird cues in their films now from movies like When Harry Met Sally and stuff. I watched all of The Summer I Turned Pretty, whatever, of course, guilty pleasure, loved it. To me, I'm just calling it Gen Z Dawson's Creek, whatever. It's great. But if you watch it from start to finish, I feel the writer was super smart about throwing in these little Easter eggs from other film or television shows that you don't pick up on unless you've watched a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just try to watch everything, but I don't know. I don't know if I've seen good movies recently.
You know what I've been doing is so Alien Earth came out, the show. Mm-hmm. Great show. And then so I decided to go through all the aliens in order. So I went to Alien Prometheus, Alien Covenant, or OG Alien with Sigourney Weaver, Aliens, Alien 3, and then now I'm on Resurrection.
So I need to watch the OG Aliens, but like full disclosure, aliens are like an irrational fear of mine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like okay.
Well, it's considered a horror.
Right.
The first Alien
Yeah.
is a horror movie. The second one, directed by James Cameron, Aliens, is more of like an action thriller.
Yeah, but I feel like I could sit through those because they're like practical effects. You know, like
Yeah.
I know that if I watched it in the daylight, like, and I could pause it, I'd be like, I understand that. It's okay. The movie that ruined me was called Fire in the Sky. Have you ever seen this movie?
I don't think so.
From the early 90s.
Oh, it's an alien movie. I heard of this.
It's
an abduction movie, right?
Yeah, it's based on a true story.
Keep talking.
And it's like these guys who are lumberjacks in like Arizona or something. And the whole movie is a byproduct of their flashbacks of what they experienced as they were abducted. And like, I swear to God, it traumatized me to the point where like then later, like maybe like a year later or something, I saw Independence Day. To this day, no. Like that movie is
even
so...
Independence Day screwed you up?
Okay, so Independence Day is okay overall, but there's certain parts that like, no, like the Area 51 part, oh, like I can't. Like I remember I was at a 24-hour fitness, like, oh my God. Yeah, I think about that. I was at a 24-hour fitness like maybe less than 10 years ago. It was playing on a TV in the distance, and I had to like go to another piece of equipment and hide behind a pillar because I was like, I can't control this and I can't watch this.
Yeah,
like,
and you can't look away, right?
Oh my God. Yeah. Just like, I don't know what I can and can't watch. Like, you know, Mars Attacks, fine.
Yeah. That's interesting.
District 9, not going to happen. Like, even though I know like the plot of that movie is fantastic. Like it has to be such a good movie. So
it's
like
barely aliens. It's just aliens that live right above it. Yeah, go ahead.
But there's like some sort of like aspect about like the imagery of certain things where I'm like, I can't unsee it. Like I'm not going to do it.
I'm like that too, where visually that's why I don't watch any like slasher horror flicks.
Yeah, no, like Human Centipede, hard pass. I'm never going to watch that movie.
No, I will never watch. I will never watch any like horror movies. I don't need to see torture or just blatant murder.
Right. Like, why are people into it?
But what's interesting though is that like I can I can watch a scene if it's like justifiable. Like say that guy was an awful, you know, villain, and then he gets like tortured to death.
Yeah.
You almost can bear it for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
But
to me, it's all about the physicality of the actions.
Yeah,
like,
there's like this scene that I think Guillermo del Toro did, a movie where the guy takes a bottle and smashes his face in. And it really I'm like, I can't unsee this and I will never forget it.
What film was that?
Like
one of his,
the Pan's Labyrinth, I think.
Okay. Yeah. Like there's something even just about his imagery where I'm like, okay, well, it feels Jim Henson-y, but like more advanced, but it seems scarier.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember I went to his exhibit at like LACMA and I was like, ugh, like I was like, I understand, like he's got these really cool like things that he's interested in, but then like his actual film iterations of what his film interest is, like it's not, he had pictures like, oh, I'm really into Gertie the Dinosaur, which is like a really old school, one of the first animated things that ever came out. And I was like, oh, I love that. And I'm like, well, but then you got these Pan's Labyrinth things. I'm like, oh, I can't, I don't know. But yeah, I'm super into movies and stuff like that. I'll try to watch everything that's not going to scare me and keep me awake at night. Like actually, one of my favorite movies, I actually rewatched it last night because I was like, oh, I'm just like in a mood. I rewatched the movie Sunshine. You ever seen that?
Is that an animated?
No, it's Danny Boyle from 2007. I'm like a huge Cillian Murphy fan. So it's like it's a fantastic sci-fi movie that like most people don't talk about. I saw it in the theater. I have it on DVD, like straight up had to pull out my DVD to watch it last night. But even watching
this decent ratings on Rotten Tomatoes.
Because it's a total like cult classic film. Like it's so good.
This one, right?
Look at the people who are in this movie. Literally like almost all these people are Oscar nominated.
Let's get to the IMDb's.
Yeah, it's a fantastic movie. It is horror, but it's implied horror rather than such a good movie though. But like, I rewatched it last night, literally like stressed out watching it. I was like,
Danny Boyle is a good director.
Yeah, this is like I think this is like the first thing he did after 28 Days Later, maybe. Because obviously Cillian Murphy's in it. But like, look, Look at Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah, Rose Byrne,
Yeah,
Chris
like,
Evans.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like got these crazy people in it, and people sleep on this movie.
This guy, Last Samurai guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like
Yeah.
such a good movie. No one talks about this, but it's the plot of the movie is that
And Alex Garland.
oh,
His name looks familiar. Let's see what else he's written. I'm pretty sure he's probably written. Oh, Ex Machina, so
okay.
good.
That's
And
another movie I'm like sleeping on because I'm like, can I sit through it?
it's not. There's like what imagery really bothers you? Physical?
No, just like I don't know.
No, it's more of him trying to figure out if he can figure out if it's
I know.
AI.
I'm gonna sit through it at some point, but like it is one of those movies I'm like putting
That's
off.
an important movie though. I will
know.
say it's important to watch because it has such a. It's so well written. It's so good.
But yeah, why Sunshine is tolerable to me. It is horror, but I feel like I was talking to my husband about this last night where I was like, I feel like they must have been surpassing the R rating.
Mm-hmm.
So they do a thing where like when it gets to some of the like more visceral or gore aspects, there's a lot of distortion in the filmmaking. And so I feel like they must have had to reel it back or something. So like you don't see a lot of that element, but it's such a good movie. I can't believe you haven't seen that. Like, you're a big movie guy, right? Aren't you? Yeah, it's such a good movie. You should watch it.
Yeah.
But it is not free on the sites. I had to literally pull out my DVD because I have.
Buy it.
You can borrow my DVD if you got a DVD player. I have tons of DVDs.
I want to watch One Battle After Another. It's supposed to be really good.
I don't know about that one.
That's the one with Leonardo DiCaprio that's out right now.
Oh, that like just came out. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know Paul Thomas Anderson?
Yeah.
So, you know, he's directed Boogie Nights, There Will Be Blood, which is probably his magnum opus. But they're saying this is probably his best.
Huh.
And he's like really good at humor. Like if you ever get a chance to watch Inherent Vice, I will.
Seen it.
You've seen it? Mm-hmm. It is so like he doesn't. It's never really advertised as a comedy, but like Boogie Nights was hilarious.
But it's like.
But Inherent Vice was also probably even funnier.
I mean, it's got that Coen Brothers kind of vibes, like where it's like it's funny, but it's I don't know, it's quick, like
it's
you know,
subtle.
where it's fleeting that you might miss the humor even though it's present or something. I don't know.
It's subtle and you can't like it's not like something. It's like visual too. There's like the subtle humor. I mean, like what Wes Anderson, very well known for that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like his is much more literal. He's like, "Hello, I'm here for here is the joke."
Yeah,
and I'm going to pause for it, even though it's not in like the style of like Will Ferrell or something. But it's like,
more.
It's very much like joke.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well, like it's all quirky comedy in a way. I've seen it. I think I've seen it like every. There's like a new Wes Anderson movie that he came out with. It's supposed to be really good.
Yeah, The Phoenician.
Yeah,
I've been watching. No, I haven't seen it yet. It's like it's on my Letterboxd watch list. Gotta get on it. Yeah.
What other movies are you like on that list that you?
There aren't that many. It's actually funny from like I guess we haven't talked about this, but like hosting trivia and stuff. There's like a lot of movies that like are brought to my attention, like where I haven't seen these like core classic films. So like Hacksaw Ridge is on there because I haven't watched it. Like, but I'm like, why haven't I watched Hacksaw Ridge? Or just like, a lot of these like more male dominated narratives. Like I haven't watched a lot of classic, like I haven't watched the Godfather films.
Oh,
you know what I mean? But like from my perspective, why would I have gone out of my way? Like one, I wasn't old enough to see that in the theater really. And like what would have captivated me as a coming of age female to be like, I gotta go see The Godfather, other than like being like a film nerd or something, being like, I've got to watch it. So like, those are things where I'm like, I'm trying to make space to be like, when am I in the mood to like watch these kind of more male dominated narratives with like a more of an action background where I'm like, I just need to see it because I need to like understand the zeitgeist of society and like, you know, these things. But, yeah, so like there's movies like that, but I mean, for the most part, I haven't fleshed out much about like the movies I need to watch. But Hacksaw Ridge is like one where I'm like ashamed. I'm like, I should have seen that.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I should have watched it. But yeah, for the most part, I've put like newer
But
movies.
probably Godfather is one of those that you should see.
I know.
Speaking of that, like Diane Keaton recently died and she was in
that.
What is it like? You're still just, I'm probably asked you this before, but you just do OC local or do you do anywhere else for the trivia night?
I only host there because I sort of stopped because my actual normal job is just too demanding. But I used to host like 2 to 3 nights a week. But that venue's been so consistent for me that it's just like, it's a good venue. But there isn't really, I don't know. I'm not trying to pick up additional at this point.
Yeah, they're pretty, is the people that show up, they're pretty consistent now these days,
It's
right?
hit or miss. Yeah. I mean, I have a lot of regulars and stuff, but it's always like lots of teams. I always learn a lot and have good experiences. I don't know. I've always been working in hospitality, so
yeah. I actually don't even know what you do during the day.
So I got a degree in hospitality.
Yeah.
I used to work like more front facing jobs, but now I work in finance for a hotel. I don't really want to I guess
the hotel.
Yeah, I don't want to call it out in like a public setting.
Yeah,
I guess,
gotcha.
but I work in finance at a hotel, but I've worked in more public facing capacities before, so I don't have that guest facing experience anymore. So it's nice having OC Local be a place where I can have sort of guest interaction. I don't know, where I get to make connections with people in a more, I don't know, relaxed setting, because I'm we can drink and we can talk about nerdy stuff versus before it was always you don't have an ocean view. Let's unpack that and figure out how we can get past it and make your experience a better experience. I don't know, or you didn't like your burger, or all these experiences you have when you work in hospital. I'm sure you've worked hospitality jobs, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
so
I worked at the St. Regis for
did you?
7 years. That was fun. I think that was also a formative time. I mean, obviously, because it was 18, 19 to 25.
Okay.
And you make friends, you make your true friends there. I didn't meet Drew there. Actually, I was the one that told him to go there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he was working at Coco's. I'm like,
oh, is that how you guys met?
We met at this house that everybody would party at when we were before we were 21. And I had it in my head. I'm like, you got to go work at the St. Regis because maybe there's incentive too. But
yeah, he's better than Coco's for sure.
Yeah. Well, he's the one that took it and ran with it further than I ever did with that job. He obviously is doing well for himself, after all that. But yeah, I made friends. I'm still friends with a couple people from that hotel, and my buddy Green, we were roommates for 8 years, and and then we're still friends now. He just did the podcast Friday. So it's kind of interesting. Especially it's interesting when you run into these people. Mm-hmm. It's we are entering that age where you've known someone for more than 20 years.
Yeah. When I think about how long ago I met you, I'm like, holy crap, it's been so long.
It's been so long.
Yeah, it doesn't feel because I'm also, I'm about to turn 41. So I'm it's weird to think that we met 20 years ago. And obviously we haven't been talking consistently for 20 years, but it's weird to I don't know. It's sad at the same time. It's we've stayed in Orange County and we ran into each other again. But I don't know. It's nice to have people that don't suck, that just turn out to be cool people. I don't know, that coexist, from these weird circles. I don't know. But yeah, that's interesting. Cause yeah, but so do you have people who still work at that hotel?
I think so. I think they made it through 2 changes, right? So it became
because they've changed ownership and stuff, right?
Yeah, it went from the St. Regis to just the Monarch Beach Resort, and now it's the Waldorf Astoria. Right. And this one guy, I think he's still there. He was still here when I came back from LA, because I was doing Uber, and I would pick up people from the hotel. And I remember it, so it was so funny. I was working as a tram driver. That's how I got into to the job. I was hesitant to take it because I don't know why. I was a dumb, 18-year-old.
That sounds like a great job for an 18-year-old. I worked at Hot Dog on a Stick as an 18-year-old. So it sounds great.
Yeah. So I get the job, and then this guy, he comes in 6 months after I'm there, and he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna do this part-time and go on and do this. He's been there for 20 years, you know? It's probably 20 years now. If he's still there, I don't know. I think there's 2 guys that never left and somehow managed to
I
stay.
think that's very realistic. Like if it pays your bills and it makes you happy, like there's sometimes this culture about like you have to hold a position with a certain title.
Yeah.
And I think like people of our generation are figuring out that that's kind of BS. Like that like having a manager or director title isn't necessarily sustainable, because I've been talking to a lot of people about this recently, where like the job market's evolving so much where we're all being asked to do multiple jobs. And even in our entry level jobs or middle of the range jobs, we're not doing one person's job that somebody did 20 years ago. We're doing multiple people's jobs, and it's not really sustainable. And so I keep wondering, like, are we the chump generation that's going to be absorbing all these things while like the prior generation is like living in mansions?
Yeah.
The younger generation is like, well, I'm just on social media and I'm going to do the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I want to see like what transpires for the younger generations as far as like work ethic, because I haven't really, I mean, I've seen some circumstances, but the general thing is like, I'm going to do what's right for me, and I'm not going to do extra, and I'm not going to do less.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, but millennials are very much just like, we're gonna do everything, and we're gonna put everything into it all the time. And I'm like, but it's like we're also drained from it, you know. And I don't know how to not do it, you know. And so I keep wondering. I was like, are we just chumps? Like we're all doing this.
We're the screwed over generation.
I don't know. Yeah, like we have these strong work ethics, and like we're just like all stuck doing tons of work, and we don't know how to do less, and we can't do more. And like, I don't know, sometimes I like go home and like wake up in the middle of the night thinking about petty stuff I didn't accomplish at work, and I'm just like what is my life?
I think you're putting a lot on yourself, it sounds like.
I don't know, man. I
feel almost guilty because I don't put enough.
I don't know, but I think it's like a general trope of our generation is like, one, for sure, you're definitely doing more than one person's job. Like there's no way that you're not. That's just what we're doing. But yeah, it's like, I think it's hard to detach sometimes like from the workload, and it's hard to not want to do extra. And I don't know. And it's not like we get paid necessarily always for those contributions, but it's not like there's necessarily a place to move into those roles, because it's like the next jump always ends up being kind of like not much more money for so much more garbage. I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. The workforce is so wild right now.
Yeah, it was definitely like I went back to in LA. I was went back to school. I ate this bag of goldfish that was like edible goldfish.
What?
It was marijuana infused goldfish.
Just like candy or fish?
No,
fish?
I'm talking about like the crackers, the goldfish crackers.
Okay, I'm thinking like real goldfish.
No,
I'm like,
no.
what?
No,
tell me more about how these goldfish got marijuana.
Oh my God, it was so good. And I ate the whole bag, and I was unemployed at the time, and I was kind of down, probably shouldn't have done that. And so I eat the whole bag, and I get really like, I'm talking to myself, like, saying like, what are you doing with your life? Kind of like echoing from my parents, and I decided to go back to school. From that evening, I was just feeling like it was just, you go way deep inside. It's like,
Wait, when was this? Like, how old were you in the 7? Ish.
I was, let's see. I was 26, I think.
Okay, so this was like, did you went to Saddleback, right?
I did go to Saddleback for a year straight out of high school.
For some reason I thought you did the whole Saddleback thing.
No, I went to Saddleback for a year. I kind of half-assed that. Like I got a couple grades that I didn't pass, or a couple classes I didn't pass, and then I stopped going, and then I tried again, gave up on it because I was like, I just want to be social and maybe meet people. Yeah. Gave up on that, and then cut to being in LA on the high on goldfish and decided to go back to school. I went to Santa Monica College,
nice,
and finished there, and then I went to Cal State LA and finished there. And you think you're gonna get I think the whole point of why I'm talking about this is that like I thought I was gonna get a job like from the education. Nope, didn't get it. I didn't get anything. I really had to like. I couldn't get anything going, and I had people like Drew tried to set me up with a thing, and I was close to that. My dad tried to set me up with a thing that didn't work out. So I eventually moved back down here, and even that was kind of a risky move because, Orange County isn't like that easy to just get a job. And I found one on Craigslist, and I've been with that company ever since.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How long have you been with that company?
Almost 7 years.
Okay. Yeah. See, I've been with my company for 16. So
Yeah.
Yeah. But
it's good to I think it's good to, if you've been with a company for a long time. I think some people are like, oh, I get bored. I'm like, well, maybe I would say it's worth to leave if like maybe it's a hostile work environment.
Right.
You're not getting paid enough, or you're just not going to the next step in life.
Yeah.
Or you're not, getting a promotion or anything, or you're like plateauing basically.
But if you think about like if you've stayed with a company for 7 years, especially in this really like inconsistent climate, that's really impressive. Like if you're happy and you're comfortable with what you're making and you're satisfied with your coworkers and stuff, like that's like all we can expect. You know what I mean? Like that's my thing is like I work really hard and I do a lot, but I'm happy doing what I do. I personally like the challenge and stuff like that. If I didn't want those things, I wouldn't be doing it. Like I've left the place I was working at one point and moved on to another location because I had the luxury working for a corporation and stuff like that. But I stayed with one location for a very long time until the environment changed for me, and I took a very long time to evaluate that. But like a lot of people, like they either get laid off or like in this climate, or like my husband, for instance, like his entire industry imploded. Like he's had to move on to a new industry and stuff, and it's like that's
what was
happening.
The industry that imploded?
He was working in Hollywood. He did post-production sound, and that's like AI, and all the strikes and stuff like just ruined that. And so now he's pivoted careers, and I feel like a lot of people are doing that now because their industries are like just completely falling apart and stuff like that. So it's just what's happening now.
It's scary too, because like that whole rollout with the new Soara and what they're.
Oh God, I hate it. I'm so glad that they have the watermark.
Yeah.
If they didn't have the watermark, I would believe half of the crap I am seeing on Instagram right now.
It's like it almost feels illegal.
Absolutely.
Like there's like it's incredible what they can do, but it's still like I don't know. You're literally just cutting out all these people's jobs with a few prompts.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad. It's like, I mean, obviously, like, we find out other ways of earning and making money, but like doing that, it's just like they showed this one. It was incredible. It's like where they're like, it's like an end of a world situation, and this huge like sea animal, this sea monster comes out of the sea, and it looks incredibly real, like even better than what like normal CGI can do. Yeah.
Like, okay, so that helicopter that crashed in Huntington Beach.
I thought that was fake.
I thought it was fake. Like that's
how bad it's gotten.
That's how terrifying the world is becoming, that like you have to question everything you're seeing. I mean, that's who we are as a generation, but like I imagine my parents, my dad sends me AI stuff all the time, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure he believes it.
Yeah.
Like, and so that's what's sort of terrifying is like the like, are you taking everything with a grain of salt, or are you like, oh my God, that's real?
It's incredible. Like what they like, you got Mr. Rogers and Tupac sitting next to each other.
What drinking, a dream.
What's that?
I said, what a dream.
Yeah. And then the one that's are popular is like showing Stephen Hawking doing all this random stuff. Oh my God.
Yeah. The like skateboarding.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's like a NASCAR race. I mean, that's funny. But it's gotten so real. You're going to have to go, is this something that could actually be happening or not?
Yeah, but you see more simple things where you just see like a dog in a household and they're doing something weird with like that stuff. And I'm like, okay, but I see that it's the Soara app and I know it's not real. Yeah. If it didn't have that watermark on it, I would be like,
well, they're going to be removing that. Like they show.
That's what's terrifying.
Like Snoop posted one that I almost reposted where it was like a cat getting attacked by an eagle, but then a goat comes up and headbutts it.
I've seen that also.
But then and then I realized it was, I think I saw the Soara watermark, but they did this one, which is wild. There's like a baby hanging out in the front lawn, and a bear comes out of the woods to attack the baby, but then a cat comes out and scares it away. Yeah, and it's not real. And like they're doing that all the time.
But then there's also videos of that kind of stuff that is kind of real. Yeah. Like you see these people where they're like feeding bears on their front stoop and stuff, and you're like, okay, I think this is real, but like, is this real? I don't know. That's what's terrifying to me is I just don't like, I don't like the blending of it. I just watched that movie, The Mountainhead or whatever. Like, have you seen this?
No.
It's some. I saw it on HBO Max like a couple weeks ago. It's like a very. I feel like it feels like a very
The Mountainhead.
I think it's just called Mountainhead or something like that. I think that's what it's called. I don't know, but it's about 4 tech billionaires in a sort of an adjacent kind of contemporary society where they, Mountainhead, I guess. Okay. But like where they go to some sort of retreat, and what's sort of unfolding is like somebody had just generated an AI like platform that was pretty problematic without any restraints. And they're sort of talking in passing about how they're manipulating other parts of society as a byproduct. And it's a subpar movie, but the implication of what they're sort of discussing feels very real about like potentially tech billionaires putting out unrestricted tech that manipulates society into like misinformation and stuff. And it's like, oh, I hate that.
Yes.
It's like, it feels
Scary.
it feels too real, you know? But even if it's like Steve Carell being Steve Carell or something, I don't know, but it's just like a strange movie.
It's getting scary. Yeah. Like I had to, there was this one video game called, flowing my words. There's a video game that came out called Body Cam.
Okay.
And it's like, it's a first person shooter, but it looks too real where you're like literally like witnessing murder.
It's carnage.
Like I can play Call of Duty all day, but there's like the uncanny valley. You kind of don't, it doesn't feel real. It's just, it has a lot of realistic feels to it, but this Body Cam game looks too real.
Are you like a Call of Duty person?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I like Call of Duty. Yeah.
Oh, I'm like I'm not a first person shooter person, but like I loved 007, like the OG one.
That's what
but
I played.
I'm so bad at that kind of stuff where I remember I used to play it when I used to live in Anaheim with a roommate, and I would be like, okay, there was a character named Hazmat. He was just wearing like a white ski suit.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, great. I can see him
and
the other person's screen, of course, like the worst thing. And I loved playing with the bazooka.
Yeah.
So it was like fun. You get 2 shots and I'm wearing a white ski suit. And so I was like, okay, if I hit somebody, it's going to be really impactful. But otherwise, worst case scenario, like this is the worst strategy ever. But I always loved too when you didn't pick up a weapon and it's just like, it's this like hand slap.
Hand chop. Yeah.
I love a hand chop.
Yeah. And and everybody hated you if you were odd job because you're short. But I evolved from that. I don't play it all the time, and then I even tried to get rid of it. And then you know what my brother did? He gives me a PS5 for my birthday, which was like very sweet. It came out of nowhere. I never expected. We don't like give each other expensive, elaborate gifts, but he gave me that. And I'm like, I was trying to quit video games, but I couldn't be mad. You know, but also it's good because then you can use it as a multimedia device and stream everything on there.
Right. It's like a DVD player.
Oh yeah, and then they say it's like the best thing you can get out of like all the Blu-rays, and it's the best quality.
Yeah, it's like a one-stop shop. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm on that video game tip. It's like, you know, they say that surgeons perform better if they play video games regularly because it's good. There is benefits to video games because you learn.
No, there absolutely is, but
puzzle solving.
I'm curious about the surgeon aspect.
Well, you learn how to not really. I think you just kind of learn how to be more accurate in things you do. If that makes sense.
Maybe it's just like the logic aspect or something.
Yeah.
The puzzle.
Well, it's like finesse. Basically, you kind of have to have finesse when you're trying to cut out an artery or a heart, or
I mean, to be fair, everyone's doing that with like robots and stuff now.
Yeah.
So like my dad literally had a surgery with a robot and like a human who is controlling a robot
remote.
doing the surgery. I feel like that's a lot of the situation now.
Yeah, I saw that recently where like a surgeon is doing remotely controlling a surgery because he couldn't fly out there.
Well, no, their hands can't do what a robot is capable of that they can do through the facilitation of a robot.
True.
So
I saw a cool little like meme where like this surgeon to practice will do origami with the little tweezers, and it's really,
I believe it.
It's
for
impressive.
Sure. Yeah,
it's impressive. Yeah. We're at about an hour and 45 minutes. What do you think? Do you think we should
we get to go as long as you want to?
Yeah, we could go. But I do want to check in with the Dodgers and
we can. You can go watch your Dodgers.
I could go watch you. I might come in tomorrow to do some trivia, by the way.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'm always there.
Thanks again for coming out. I really appreciate it and sharing your story with
my weird ass cult story.
Yeah, that's a fascinating story. Well, thank you, Berit. So good to have you. I'm so glad to be. We've been known each other for 20 years, and
that's wild.
Yeah, it is weird. So everybody have a lovely evening, and of course, go Jeff yourselves. Let me get one of these in. All right, good night.